Let me put that off. Okay. So, hello and welcome everyone. My name is Nicolette Halliday with Inspired Hearts Publishing. Today, I have the privilege and the honor of doing a session with Chanin Zellner with the Light Vessel. And I'm going to share a little bit more about what we're going to be doing. But first, I want to welcome Chanin. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here, Nicolette.
I'm excited too, and just so honored. Like, I just feel like I have the best job in the world because I get to meet people like you and come in and have all the support and get to dabble in the magic that you're doing. So Chanin is the co-author to the book Mystics Revealed, Unconventional Success Stories from Extraordinary Leaders. And Chanin shares a lot about her own personal journey and evolution to where she got, how she got to where she is now and doing the incredible work that she's doing. But Chanin, can you share a little bit about kind of what you're doing, and let's start with what you're doing and who is your favorite soul client to work with?
Yes. So my business is called The Light Vessel. My business, me, it's my pseudonym. And basically, it's hard to put a label on what I do, but I am an energy medicine practitioner as well as an applied mindfulness coach. And so basically what I do is I help people rewire their false beliefs they got from their childhood, and then clear out the energy in their systems as well. The ideal client, that's a challenge, but the basis of what I do to help people with is to heal from different traumas that have happened, and not only traumas, but the societal conditioning that impacts us as well. Like, what does it mean to be a female or a male in this world, and all of the mixed messaging we get about that really impacts us in ways we are not even aware of. So the ideal client, I love working with women in particular, and very, very specialized women with sexual trauma, because that's what my story is about in the book. That is what I have overcome, and I know it's possible. So I have an extreme passion for helping women overcome that.
I know. And it's such incredible work that you're doing. And so for anyone who's watching, you get to see a sneak peek behind the scenes, kind of what you could expect. Chanin's going to be walking me through an intuitive reading and what you would maybe expect in that kind of setting. Of course, every single person, every reading, every session is unique to the person and the interactions that you're going to have. But this is the best way that we can kind of pull you in and show you what it is that an intuitive reading with Chanin would look like. And Chanin, you mentioned your chapter. Definitely recommend checking out Chanin's chapter. It's incredibly raw and vulnerable. She goes right there, and you will know once you read her chapter why she is the best person to help facilitate this kind of transformation for you. And it's funny because you said, trauma, that you help people pass trauma. And I think it's important to recognize that some of the traumas, that it's not always the big trauma, right?
Exactly. It's not necessarily abuse of some kind. It can be simple things that were said to us when we were children. Like, one that was really impactful for me was my parents saying, children are meant to be seen and not heard. So the way my little child took that was, I'm not supposed to talk, and no one wants me around, and I'm not loved, and my opinion doesn't matter. So
Right.
you take that into your teenage years and then into your adulthood, like, wow, it's just a little thing that they didn't say with malice,
Yeah.
or like, be a good girl and go do this for me. Oh, so if I don't do that, I'm a bad girl. So then that you creates you into being a people pleaser, right? So yeah, it's not necessarily trauma is not necessarily abuse per se.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a really good differentiator because someone might be not realizing, like, oh, well, I don't really have trauma, and kind of missing the opportunity to work with you. So why would someone come and want to do an intuitive reading, for instance, with you? What would maybe be a trigger for someone, or, some inspiration to bring them to you?
Yeah. So the intuitive reading is a small part of what I offer. I offer full-blown sessions for people. But the intuitive reading, what I love about it, and it was something that I guess just became aware of that I can even do a year or so ago, is it's bringing to your conscious awareness those traumas and emotions and feelings and everything that are stuck in your subconscious and unconscious mind that are impacting your life and you have no idea. So through this intuitive reading, I tune in to your system, your higher self, your emotional body, and whatever comes through is now you're aware of it. You're
Mm,
consciously aware of it. And once you are aware of something, right there is when the healing begins. So
mm,
that's the first part of the reading. The second part is I do what's called a vibrational upgrade clearing statement. And so that is where I get into more of the energetics of it. And everyone will see it. And it sounds really like, wow, how can that possibly help? But man, that's the cornerstone of what I do, because it starts to help rewire the neural pathways in your brain that have led you to believe that you're not loved, you're not safe, you're not worthy. So it's
okay,
really
so
amazing.
powerful. So powerful. And so we're going to be diving in. I am slipping into what you might consider the client or the student. I don't know exactly what the term would be, but so I'm
Right.
going to be brave. I'm putting myself out there and bringing everyone into this kind of sessions. Of course, these sessions are usually very private and kept between the two of you, unless you want to share. But this is the best way we thought you could bring you in to what this session would look like, and kind of get a good understanding of what it would be like to, a small understanding of at least this very specific intuitive reading piece. So, Shannon, I'm going to hand over the floor to you and come in as the student.
Yeah, this is exciting because I've never done this in a public forum either. So this will be brave for both of us to do. And
We're
so
good at that.
yeah, aren't we? Yeah, so basically, like I said, so let me ask you this. I have your permission, Nicolette, to tune into your higher self and your emotional body. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's always ask permission. And so, yeah, so I will close my eyes so that I can listen and see, because I hear words and I see images of what wants to be cleared. And I invite you to close your eyes as well. And then things will just start flowing out, feelings you've had, emotions you've had. And like I told you previously, it can even be things from your parents, from your siblings, people in your field. It's not necessarily going to be yours, because we are products of our parents. And so we carry forward their energy with us, their DNA. Yeah, so it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes. And I might pause and be quiet because I'm trying to piece out, what's wanting to be said to you or for
Okay.
you. All right. Okay, so please take in a couple deep inhales and exhales, Nicolette. Tuning into your heart space. All right. Why are people so mean to me? Why do I have to put up with this? Why can't I just be free of all of this pain? It is so painful and I'm tired of dealing with it. I just want to move forward, but something is holding me back. Feeling very restricted. I feel it in your chest. There's a feeling of not being loved, not being accepted, not being valued. And again, this can be from the past and it can be things you've been working on, but it's another layer of it. Feelings of overwhelm, not having enough time, feeling just pulled in so many different directions. Feeling selfish because you do want to take care of yourself and have time for yourself, but people need you. You've made commitments. I'm also going to be sending you some energy at the same time, Nicolette, for peace and calm. So there's a feeling of what I hear is wanting to stand on your own 2 feet, not wanting to feel that, okay, feel that you need a man to take care of you, that you are fully capable, and you're tired of people doubting you, but you're also tired of doubting yourself. A lot of fear around failing, a lot of fear of not being good enough, of letting people down. There's a hurt around people being unkind to you, maybe some verbal abuse. And if not abuse, just someone is just unfiltered. They don't understand the impact. At some point, perhaps being called oversensitive, over emotional, you take things too personally. What's your problem? A lot of sadness around your family situation. Feeling like you have let people down because you didn't do your best. You should have known better. You should have done better. You should have taken action sooner. Why did you let this go on for so long? A lot of beating yourself up. A need for forgiveness of yourself and for other people, feeling resentful and bitter. But again, there's a lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda. A lot of regrets, a lot of second guessing, not giving yourself credit for the beautiful person that you are. Yeah, it just keeps coming in. I should have known better. See if we can go back further. A lot of anxiety. This feels like it's been passed on to you. This is a family thing. A lot of struggle, money struggles. Where are we going to get the money to do this? A lot of comparison, feeling judged, feeling not good enough, not keeping up with the Joneses. This feels a lot of mother energy or mother line, maybe depression, some sense of abandonment and rejection. With a spouse or a parent leaving or dying, divorce, something along those lines. There's just this great sense of abandonment and rejection, not loving oneself. Again, self-esteem issues, lack of confidence, feeling pressured to perform. A lot of confusion over of gender roles, of resentment over it, of expectations of how one is supposed to be. You're not living up to expectations. You're letting people down. Stop being so selfish. Stop putting yourself first all the time. And these are all lies. But you took them to heart. Or your mother did. It feels very mother energy. Feeling like you can't keep up. Life is a struggle. Life is meant to be hard. A lot of, this feels like a lot of mother energy. Sympathy, tears, wanting things to be different, wanting to be able to help and feeling powerless. There's like a shadowy male figure off to the right, like he's there, but he's not there. but there's also a lot of gratitude and recognition for that people were doing their best. And you're wanting at some point recognition from others that you were doing your best. It's very emotional. At some point, people not taking you seriously. I just hear, are you serious? You can't do that. Who do you think you are? You're going to fail. Someone telling you these things, or you're telling yourself these things. If you loved me, you would do this. A lot of guilt. A lot of guilt, maybe some gaslighting of some kind. Guilt being placed upon you. Okay, that's all. You can open your eyes when you're ready. How did that resonate?
Yeah, definitely resonated.
Did the shadowy male figure make any sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he was just over here, just like this shadow.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. So what we are going to do next, unless you have anything else you want to say. I know this is really personal, so we might not want to hear.
We can go as I want it to be as real as it is for other people. So I'm good.
Okay. And I am curious, how was the mother thing? Because it was a very motherly energy that was coming through, mother line. If not your mother, it was in her line.
Yeah, of kind of the self-worth and the kind of always feeling a little misunderstood, never really feeling like you measure up or kind of that comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very strong.
Hmm.
At one point, it was all coming in so fast. I was trying to keep up. And,
Yeah.
and the wonderful thing is, just by bringing all of this up, and I work with the energy at the same time, but it's healing already. And what's so important to know is when we are healing ourselves, we are healing our lineage backwards and forwards.
Mm.
As you know about that testimonial I got from that lady who I did a session for, but I was actually tapping into her mom. And her mom felt totally different the next day. So you are not only helping yourself, you're helping your ancestry and your children to
Mm.
heal these emotions and these feelings and false beliefs.
So, at this point in the session, do people usually like talk to you about what they were feeling or how does that usually come up?
We pretty much just do what we did here, because it's normally like a 30-minute session or so. Because, and a lot of times it needs to integrate over the next couple of days, and
Mm.
it'll bring up more awarenesses and memories and such, as the healing is processing in process. So then what we go into next is the vibrational upgrade clearing statement. And so I will ask you, Nicolette, something along the lines of, and it's all intuitive. Again, I'm not using my mind. Anywhere and everywhere you've been made to feel not good enough, would you like to burn up with the flames of transmutation? And at that point, you are invited to say yes out loud, because that invites in the healing energy.
Okay.
And then I say a line to work with that, and then whatever else comes through. And then I'll pause for a minute, and then that will be done.
Okay, beautiful. So I think it would be really helpful for anyone who's watching that, during our interaction when we were doing the, first intuitive reading section, what was happening for me is a lot of emotion connected to what you were sharing, and then also images in my head of, where those things might be landing. So just to tie it in for the people that are watching, since they aren't having that same experience, I think that would be really beneficial. And so I have one question before we move on to the next stage. So what we just did is going to start implementing the healing. There's nothing that I have to do or anything from this point. You just kind of bring it all to awareness, and then the magic kind of starts happening. Is that right?
Totally. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
It is. It's magical.
Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. Okay,
And
I'm
I
ready
love
to
that.
move on.
Great. And I love that feedback you gave on what you were experiencing. That's wonderful. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And again, like I said, I'm sending you energy too, just to for peace and calm and love. We are starting with that. So Nicolette, anywhere and everywhere, and anyone who's ever caused you to feel like you are not good enough and that you never measure up, would you like to burn up with the flames of transmutation?
Yes.
Wonderful. All the karma as appropriate. Traumas, imprints, contracts, promises, vows, oaths, swearings, decisions, judgments, conclusions, and computations, free-floating thoughts and traumas, and your lineage that have caused this for you and everything else to be named from this or any lifetime, timeline, dimension, or reality. We're burning up with the flames of transmutation now. So please breathe in through your nostrils and exhale at your own pace, and I will do it with you. We're also burning up anywhere you have been beating yourself up, where you have not forgiven yourself, where you have not forgiven others for things that have happened. We're burning up anywhere you are feeling resentful or bitter, angry at things that have happened, anger at yourself, anger at other people. We're burning that up. Burning up anywhere you're feeling restricted, that you can't move forward. Burning up anywhere you feel you don't deserve happiness, you don't deserve prosperity, you don't even deserve to move forward. We're burning up all of that. Burning up your frustrations with things that don't go the way you want them to. Why hasn't this happened yet? I'm trying to be patient, it's just not working. We're burning up all of that. Yeah, again, burning up anywhere anywhere you have imposter syndrome, where people think you are a fraud, whatever that is. We're burning that up. I feel like that's more about you thinking you're a fraud. You're faking it till you make it. We're burning that up. Anywhere you don't feel worthy of love and affection. Anywhere you are not taking care of yourself because you feel you don't deserve it, you don't have time, other people need you, you are not important, everyone else comes first. We're burning up all of that. Please breathe in through your nostrils and exhale again. And burning up sadness over things you've lost. Lost relationships, lost material possessions, loss of freedoms. All right. So we're going to activate the upgrade now. So give me a moment, please. I'm also being guided to do a tone for you. It helps amplify this healing process. It can get kind of loud, although not necessarily on the recording, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So give me a moment here and we'll see what comes through. And all of this is aligning with your highest divine blueprint, at least fifth dimensional, and all the latent keys and codes and gifts and talents and ancient wisdom within you, and blessings and support are aligning for your highest potential and your highest possibilities to be physically actualized in your life now. We're going to activate that upgrade now. And give me a moment as we shower blessings and love and peace down upon you, Nicolette. All right. You can open your eyes when you're ready. Ooh. How was that?
Yeah, I definitely felt I don't know how to explain. I felt the energetic transmutation as like a buzzing almost.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, when I did the tone, I saw it as going around your spinal cord like
Mm-hmm.
this, just going up from your root chakra, at your pelvic bone and up through your crown, like
Mm-hmm.
the wonderful thing about all of this is, when we have trauma of any kind, again with our definition of trauma, it's like an onion, and we can, through a healing process, we might, like, came up for you not feeling good enough, so we remove that layer, and then a month can go by. Oh no, it's coming up again because it's an onion, and there's another layer. So the wonderful thing is you can listen to this clearing statement every day, because the more you listen to it, the deeper it goes into that onion and into those layers to help release these feelings and false beliefs for you.
Mm, that's amazing. So for those who are watching that are interested in possibly doing this kind of thing, what are some of the outcomes that I can expect after, sitting through and going through this exercise with you?
Yeah, so for you in particular, with the things that came up, you could feel more empowered. You could feel more confident. You could start to feel some, just that less heaviness in your chest, maybe less anxiety, maybe some more optimism, even
Mm-hmm.
less grief. I felt a lot of grief. That
Mm-hmm.
word didn't come up. That's what it felt like. Like I feel teary even saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And now that didn't necessarily come up for you, but if you've been having any stomach issues, for instance, like that could come up, or it could even instigate some release of stomach issues, bowel issues. As it purges, and yeah, you could start to get more clarity about the past.
Mm-hmm.
But for you in particular, like, it feels a weight off your shoulders. You could just start to feel lighter in spirit and in your
Yeah.
heart. Your heart was very impacted.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that with just everything that, especially this last year, it's been a heavy year. So I can
Yeah.
see why you felt that grief and that, just some of the sorrow that probably came up in that. So,
Yeah.
okay, wonderful. So, I think, would this be the end of this type of session then?
Exactly. And so what I do
Okay.
for people, when we have the session is I actually send them the video because we do it via Zoom, and then I send them an audio as well, so then they can just listen to that clearing statement in particular.
Okay, perfect. So they can go through every day and sit in and go through those layers, right?
Yeah.
And keep unraveling. And so you mentioned the woman who you had done a session with, who you had actually tapped into her mother. I'm curious to know what some of your other clients have, like some of the feedback that you've received from some of the other clients that you've worked with in doing this kind of session.
Yeah, and that's interesting. I just posted a bunch of testimonials on the landing page for my program. And yeah, it's partly what I just said to you. Like this one girl, I just did a 75-minute session for her one time, and I don't do those. This was an exchange, and her testimonial was incredible because she's like, I feel lighter, I have more clarity, I have optimism about my future, and
Mm.
she just felt these things lift from her body, and even I was like, wow, that's amazing after one session. Um,
Right.
one girl I did an intuitive reading for, she had a lot of throat chakra stuff to the point where she had thyroid problem. And it was
Mm.
because in her life, she wasn't able to speak up for herself. She didn't feel like she could express her emotions and her feelings. And I checked in with her a couple days later. And this was just from a 30-minute intuitive reading. And she said, I actually expressed my feelings to my husband about his family the other day, and I have never done that.
Mm.
And so
Yeah.
it's people feel more empowered, I think, is a
Mm.
big part of it. And
Yeah.
just that lighter in spirit, like it's hard to explain,
It
right?
kind of
Like, what does
feels
that mean?
like kind of the imagery that's coming through for me is like there's a maybe like a clogged drain almost. And
Yes.
you come in and just dissolve the
Now,
clog so that whatever it is, wherever, depending on where it is in the emotional well-being, body, all of it, you come in and kind of like clear the clog so that the flow of whatever it is that had been, blocked can come through.
that's so perfect because I in some copy, I did for marketing a couple years ago, I compared it all to like I was Drano.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that's how it feels too. So I think, it makes sense because it really is like you tune in on the place that is, finding that resistance. And then, you send in the energy so that it can bust through, because ultimately what we're doing is healing ourselves, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Mm.
perfect.
Oh, awesome. Well, so you mentioned your website. I'll make sure to link up that for anyone who's interested in working with you, and finding out more about how they can. Please pick up a book of Mystics Revealed, and you can find Shannon's. Let me find you right
Chapter 4.
there, and you scan and you can be taken right to all of her goodies, resources, ways to work with her. And really, I want to close with saying that for anyone, there's I think there's two camps, right? There's people who have had experience with this kind of energy work, and there's people who haven't. And I want to say to the people who haven't that um it's really hard to explain the kind of breakthroughs and sensations that you're going to experience through one of these sessions until you experience it. And so, if you're curious at all and like, you're kind of keep running up against the same things, or you feel like you're hitting a brick wall in any way, then I encourage you to, connect with Chanin and really give this an opportunity, because there's a good chance you're doing all of the things. And if you keep doing all the things the same way, there's a good chance you're not going to make any change, right? So there's that. And then the other group, which is people who are already familiar with energy work, have probably already had some, maybe with someone else. I just want to say that Chanin is absolutely unique in her modality, and the ways that she's working with her clients is the empathy that's connected to what she does is truly amazing. So both of those, just a little plug for you, Chanin, and really excited to see kind of the things that end up, transpiring, because I know, because I have had these kinds of sessions, that it's a layer in ourselves, but it's also a layer about how things kind of evolve, right? So looking forward to seeing how all of those things come through. But thank you so much for the session. I already feel just a lighter, so it's amazing.
Thank you. I'm so happy.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want to add before we end this?
I would love to. Thank you. Starting, I think I'm launching it today or tomorrow, my first 30-day program, and it's called Reveal 30 Days to Better Relationships.
Ooh.
Yes, and
Okay.
it's going to be amazing. And for a limited time, I haven't heard how long yet, it's pay what you can.
Oh,
So
amazing. So for anyone who's watching today, what is today?
today is
Today
the 27th.
Okay, today's the 27th.
Yeah.
Today is January 27th. So Chanin's launching a 30-day course about relationships.
Yes.
Wow. So is this a group course, a group container? Okay.
It's a group container. It'll be on Facebook. You can join at any time. It's not calendar based 30 days,
Okay. Okay. Good
It
to know.
opens on February 1st, but you can join at any time. But it's daily interaction, daily activities, so to speak. And it's going to be powerful. And the point of it is to, sort of like with the intuitive reading, is to start to explore our hidden false beliefs about why are we struggling in our relationships with ourselves and with others, and getting to that core issue and bringing that awareness to begin the healing process.
Such a powerful, so much wisdom in working on our relationships. It affects everything. And I don't think there's near enough focus or attention on it. So I think that's wonderful. Thank you for bringing this in, and for pay what you can afford. That's a pretty amazing offer right there. So join in on with Chanin. Is there a way for people to connect with you around that?
Yeah, they can. Maybe we can put a link in the video content for that program in particular. And I also want to say, Nicolette, how wonderful you are, how blessed I am to know you. You are just the most beautiful soul and kind, caring person. I'm so happy to have you in my circle.
I'm really grateful to know you too, Chanin. Thank you so much for this time. We'll definitely link up to your course and to other ways to connect with Chanin, whether it's one-on-one or her group programs. She has a plethora of offers. So definitely check her out and see kind of how she might be able to help you move past some of the stuff that you're experiencing. Thanks.